If the bug can change his taste buds, the bug can change this and that. Suppose he decides, because you're doing all this, one day he decided he will become this big. That little bug became like this, then what will you do? Is it a possibility? I asked him. He's very deeply immersed in these things. He said, we cannot say it's not possible. It is possible. One day bug may decide this size and this way of doing things is not good. If he's this much, if he became this much, then it'll be a different game altogether. What being on the path of the divine means is that you don't have your own nonsense anymore. Where does your nonsense come from? A bit from your parents, a bit from the society in which you live, rest you cook it up. Yes? Yes or no? Bit from your genetics, a bit from the external impressions. Using these two things, you cook up the rest. What comes from external situations is all too much fragmented, bits and pieces. Maybe this information is useful for your survival. It is. What comes from your genes? You know, Charles Darwin told you were a monkey. So if you say, my genetics decide who I am, the monkey business will not end, ever. Because even now, your DNA is only 1.23% different from that of a chimpanzee. Your evolution is only that much. So the more you depend on your genetics, the more of a monkey you become. I say a monkey because if you go by your genetics, you become cyclical. If you travel like this, one moment if you're not alert, you'll go off at a tangent. If you go like this, you may slow down, you may hasten, you don't go anywhere. So being on the path of the divine means, first thing, to become free from your genetics. It is in this context we say, Shiva is Swayambhu. That means he has no parentage. He dropped it. He cleaned his mother and father out of him. No father, no mother, just here. Because genetics means repetition. Repetition means cyclical nature. Cyclical nature means you're going in circles, you're not going anywhere. So, this I business and all, you reading bits and pieces of Vedanta, please stop that. Don't read all this stuff, me and my consciousness and my witness and where is the witness, witnessing the witness, 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 witness. You can go on endlessly. Witness witnesses the witness and witness witness the witness witness, witness witness the witness witness witness. This is just a mental game. Ignorant people acting like they know, this is what happens. Philosophies will flourish. Philosophies, the more philosophical a society is, or the more philosophical a human being is, the more he's clearly declaring to the world that he is a pretender. What he does not know, he acts like he knows. Simple, practical people, they know they don't know, and they're proud that they don't know. That's a problem, but at least they know they don't know. So do not get into this trap of intellectualizing the existence. Very confidently you use this word existence, but do you know what is existence? Does anybody know what is existence? Does anybody know? So when we talk, when you use words of whose meaning we do not know, that's called rubbish, isn't it? But maybe socially very valuable rubbish because it confuses somebody. If you can confuse a few people, they may believe you're intelligent. Really. If you want to be perceived as intellectual, you just have to confuse a few people. You don't have to bring clarity to anybody. The work, the spirituality or the spiritual work is about bringing clarity, not confusion. Confusion we do only when people have deep conclusions. When people have conclusions in their mind which they believe is everything, then we confuse them a bit so that their conclusions get loosened up. Once Shankaran Pillai won the Meghalaya state lottery. Is it still on? Is it still on or gone? No lottery? Okay, at that time. 1984. I changed the date, what's the problem? After all, we made up the dates. We can use it the way we want it, isn't it? Not now, 1984, he won a lottery. And people gathered, press gathered, and everybody said, wow, we won a lottery. 56 crores. You heard those days, isn't it? So, how did you get this lucky number? So Shankaran Pillai said, I had 3 consecutive nights I had a dream. In the dream, it said, number 8, number 8, number 8 3 times. 3 times it appeared, 8, 8, 8. Then I thought, 3 times 8 is 32. And I went for the 32 ticket and I got it. And people said, well, 3 times 8 is not 32, it is 24. I said, what does it matter? I won the lottery. So I'm telling you, existence does not fit into your logic. It's not logically correct. It's not logically correct, but it's fantastic. That means what's wrong? That means what's wrong? That means your logic is too limited, isn't it? No, existence is not correct. Why is it not fitting into my logic? And this is the argument of a madman, isn't it? This is the way it is. If your logic doesn't fit into it, there's a problem with your head, not with the existence. So messing around with the fundamentals of life, if you knew all of it, maybe it would be okay to do a few things. But right now, these things are being driven by commercial forces. They've invested $100 million, they're in a hurry to bring it to the market as quickly as possible because things are piling up on them. That's not the way to do these kind of things. These kind of things, if at all if we have to do, we must do it in such a way that there is no pressure to bring it into usage without really being 100% sure of what we are doing to this. Now, what we are assuming in this whole thing is, we are thinking if you have good genetics, you will come out as a fantastic human being. That means you're a bloody racist. You better understand that. Adolf Hitler ran, for those days, what was called as love camps, because he believed his German soldiers, who are supposed to be Aryan or whatever, they are the best bred people. So they found across Europe, they picked up all young women, took them to the love camps to be impregnated by the German soldiers in hundreds, thinking they will produce some superhumanity. No, you may have whatever, your father may be built like a bull and you think it's great genetics. This does not mean you will produce a great human being. No, life doesn't work like that. You're discounting everything else. When your mother carried you in her womb with utmost love and what that did to the child, you've forgotten. You think it's only stupid genetics which is doing everything? Just look at in the same family, born to the same parents, or children the same way, same genetics, nonsense. One is there, one is here. Isn't it so? So we're discounting the impact of consciousness, the impact of human emotions, human thought, the atmospheres we create. So none of that is relevant, just manipulate genetics. There was a big controversy in India about genetically engineered plants. GM cotton came, then GM brinjal came. I was trying to understand what this is, so one of the major companies which is doing this, I met this guy and asked him, what is it? What is it that you're manipulating? All they're doing is with the vegetables. Mainly the problem is when you grow vegetable crops, which are short duration, 3 to 6 months, whatever the lifespan of that plant, to get that maximum yield, one of the biggest impediments is the bugs and the other things which they have to eat something. They come for the plant. They usually don't come for the vegetable, they like the leaf. This is a good partnership between us and them, they eat the leaf, we eat the vegetable. But if they eat too much leaf, then there will be not much vegetable. That's our problem. So we've been trying to do chemical warfare with them. We spray the entire place. The most irresponsible thing that we have done on the planet is that our aircrafts have been spraying insecticide, killing just everything. So to avoid that, because we saw that's bad, now we thought, whatever the bug is coming for in that particular leaf, that we take it away with genetic engineering. Or we make it taste bitter for the bug. See, the bug has taste. The bug wants to eat this leaf because it's succulent, it is nutritious for that. So you make it bitter, the leaf becomes bitter, not the vegetable, only the leaf. Because of that, the bug will not be able to eat the leaf. But then I thought, is it a permanent fix? He said, no, Sadhguru, every season we have to re-engineer it. Because within a matter of 3 months, the bug comes up with a new solution for itself. It will learn how to make bitterness to taste good. Now you have to again re-engineer it. So slowly what's happening is, in 8–10 years of genetic engineering of a specific plant, let's say, you will produce a super bug that you may not be able to handle one day. The bug will become so versatile that you may have nothing to kill that bug or to avoid that bug. So, the bug is evolving faster than your intelligence because it's his survival. He's evolving quickly and changing himself. So, I said, isn't the bug becoming stronger and stronger? He said, yes, it's amazing how strong they're becoming. So what will happen? In 50 years' time, you will have bugs that you don't know how to handle. If the bug can change his taste buds, the bug can change this and that. Suppose he decides, because you're doing all this, one day he decided he will become this big. That little bug became like this. Then what will you do? Is it a possibility? I asked him. He's very deeply immersed in these things. He said, we cannot say it's not possible. It is possible. One day bug may decide this size and this way of doing things is not good. If he's this much, if he became this much, then it'll be a different game altogether. So, we're meddling with things with bits and pieces of information. We don't know the entire scape of how genetic material is happening, not just in human being, in everything around us. Suppose you manipulated genetics, this is one possibility that some of the scientists are talking about. And manipulated genetics means, let's say it's like this, your aunt had cancer, her mother had cancer, your grandmother had cancer, so we will manipulate your genetics in such a way that you will not get cancer. That's the idea of this manipulation. With this manipulation, it is very much possible, and I think already it's manifesting in so many different ways. One thing is, allergic levels can go up big time. There's so many people in United States who are allergic to sunlight, allergic to lactose, milk, allergic to our groundnut. Allergy means, I did not know this, they were explaining in the airplane. They give me some lousy macadamia nut in the airplane, and I say, I'm not going to eat this nut. Do you have some groundnuts or peanuts or whatever you call it? No, no, it's not on this plane because there's one person who's allergic. If he's allergic, what's my problem? So not like that. If you open the packet, he will die. Really. If you just open the packet here, the man is sitting somewhere else, just the smell of it, he will suffocate and die. Can you beat this? This is not necessarily because of genetic modification in the person, but substances, chemicals and others going into the system is doing these things. So, one of the possibilities is you can become allergic to the air that you breathe. So that's good, because if I'm manufacturing oxygen tanks, I think this is very good market development because I will sell millions of this thing. Who told you you must drink 3 liters, 4 liters of water per day? Those who are selling water. Yes. No, doctors are telling. Those who are drinking, now if you drink 3-4 liters of water per day, even if it's chill in the air, that is why we have more toilets than 300 million people we have, but we have 600 million toilets, because anywhere you will want to go. Nobody ever was drinking this kind of water. Even in a tropical country where it's much warmer, we don't drink water like this. It's only in America, in the New York is cold, you will see people walking with a water bottle as if suddenly it's going to become a desert and there'll be no water and something's going to happen. This is because these are commercial interests. Somebody says, if you have coffee, you will never have a heart attack. Now somebody says, if you have coffee, you will get cancer. Those are different things. But meddling with the fundamental life substance like this, we will pay a price. In what form, we do not know. It's good, science explores all these things, it's wonderful, we must explore. But This premature usage of these things will inevitably happen when there are commercial interests. There is no way to prevent that right now.